Good morning, my beautiful friends. You know, my dad taught me, if you're not early, you're late. If you're just on time, you are late. So here we go. Thanks for being here this morning. This morning's meditation class. And I'm loving trying out some new technologies for us, allowing maybe a better flow, which is really super cool. I'm happy about this. Now this morning, my friends, I woke up with a little static, meaning there was so much. I have these beautiful things that I like around me while I'm meditating, and I forgot to put them around me. Okay, we're back. I woke up a little like static, and not in a bad way, and so much energy. There's so much vibrating that it felt like, well, like static. And so this morning, what I would love us to do is to just drop into a straight practice, which is just meant to ground you and coalesce all that energy. We're not trying to remove it. Heavens no. Personally, I spent years sedating myself when I would get so energetically high on life. I would think, things are just too good. I need to sedate myself. And that could have been food, alcohol, drugs, television, the gym, anything that you use to sedate. And so no more sedation. This is elevation. But at times you want to kind of bring all of that in because you're just like, whoa, that is just too cool. But what I would like to do is turn this into usable energy. So we're going to drop straight into a practice, which, the first time I heard this was maybe 22 years ago. Interestingly enough, it was from a Tony Robbins course. Years later, it came out from an institute called HeartMath Institute, which HeartMath maps the electromagnetic field of a person's heart. And how do the neurons and the neuropeptides that run around the heart, these are the things that actually make the heart a brain, because it has neurons up here, and you also have neuropeptides that run here, which are all just grabbing information and processing. You have in other parts of your body as well, but these two are like the big. And in HeartMath, they watch what happens to those neurons, those little things that are like shooting around up here and then down here, and how do we bring them into center so that you can operate from not only a heart space, but a synced space from the mind and the heart. That sounds like a pretty good place to be. Most of my important meetings, either I go into it preparing, or possibly I'll get onto a call and just say, hey guys, bear with me for a few minutes. I'm going to ask you all to follow this practice. And we need at least 3 to 4 minutes to drop into it. We're going to drop into it a little bit longer, but I'll stop a call, a business call or important call or whatever that is, and say, we're just too much like static. We're going to take a couple minutes to breathe. Will you all close your eyes? Nobody has ever said no. And everyone after always is like, I needed that. Thank you. So, my friends, I'm going to flip our screen because I'm using a software that allows me to do this so that we can less concentrate on me and just more on remembering to close our eyes in this practice. Now, a few things that we're going to do. Number one, you're going to keep your attention in this little spot that's right in between your eyebrows. Nothing too intense. You don't need to roll your eyes in the back of your head. You could, but that puts strain on your eyes, and this isn't about strain. The second is you're going to use some kind of hand placement around your heart. That could be here, that could be touching all the way. If you can see my thumbs, it also just depends on if you're at work and if you're male or female, because, hand placement counts. But all that really matters is that there's some form of touch and sensation, which is telling the physiology of your body that, hey, I need to focus here. I'm going to hold my hands here because I just love it. And then the second, keeping the attention here, says I'm also going to keep my attention here, and we're going to start syncing the two. So you're basically just going to close your eyes Hold your attention up to the top. Putting your hands over your heart and taking in a deep breath. Nice and full, not too exaggerated, but just complete. And then breathing out. This could be through your mouth, or through your nose. It's just controlled. Exhaling all the way, breathing in again. Nice and full, and exhaling. And for the next couple of minutes, I'm going to mute myself out, and we're going to breathe. And we're going to hold this. In about 3 to 5 minutes, you'll feel yourself drop in. So let's continue on that. I'm still here. I'm just going to mute myself out for background noise. starting to come back into your presence, into your center. These practices don't have to take a long time. There are so many beautiful reasons to dive deeply into meditations, into your practice, and to let the mind go. Travel the galaxies. Search the internal components of the mind. There's some really cool things about re-hardwiring and editing memories. Because where do memories really live? Except in the imagination. Editing them to make them more impactful for yourself. Really good, amazing purposes for doing these. And then there's also time where we just get to sink and drop in. And this feeling, this sensation that you're feeling right now, this like, oh yeah, that's what it feels like. Imagining going into every important meeting or call, or right before the kids come home, or right before you get home, or in the middle of the day because everybody's working from home, where you just take a couple of minutes to drop and then come back to center so that the rest of your day you're in this impactful place. These two things, the mind and the heart, or the mind and the soul, whatever you want to call them, are operating in the same place. In the midst of creating your own desires and your manifestations. It's one thing to know what you want. It's another thing to feel what you want. And it's a completely different thing to have them both meet in the middle. Ta-da! Meditation class for today. My friends, I appreciate you for being here, for being on live with us, and those that are watching afterwards. Any comments, or if there's additional value that you want to add to the communities, just mark that into your chat in the social media platform that you're in. Share this with somebody. Like, reach out and say, hey, I really think that, from minute 5 to minute 13 in this video, that you're going to find some really impactful things, as, it just might be the difference of having to take a medication or sedating and not, and being in your own personal power. It's all pretty amazing, my friends. Now, I dearly love you. Thank you for being on. Share this. Be back tomorrow at the same time, and we'll talk to you tomorrow.